It's a special day in the F124 calendar again. It's Sprint Day here in the United States Grand Prix with two races for you in the same episode once more. All dry in the sprint, all dry in the race, and mainly dry in qualifying. Although if we get to Q3, highly unlikely, it will be wet. Our qualifying performances of late have been less than desirable, let's be completely honest. But our racing, albeit fortuitous, has provided 5 points finishes in our last 6 Grand Prix. And if it weren't for the rain in Italy, then it may well have been 6 straight points finishes. A P4, a podium, 2 P8s and a P10. Could even have been a P4 in Monza as well if we'd have been just as lucky. And actually we've got P4 in Austria too. We're in a great run of form. United States, Italy, Azerbaijan, Singapore and Kota is a string of 4 Grand Prix where I don't pretend to perform that well. We got very lucky in Azerbaijan, we got very lucky in Singapore. If we get lucky again in the US, then I really have done something to please someone, haven't I? Mexico and Brazil should be much more competitive for us, I hope. Then Vegas is, well, you saw what happened last year in Vegas in F123. It was wild. Qatar is new look this year. I'm very much looking forward to that. And then Abu Dhabi actually tended to perform a little bit better at Abu Dhabi in recent years. So we'll see what we can do in the United States. There should be points on offer in the main race. Whether there's points on offer in the sprint race or not, I hesitate to say. But it will be dry for that as well, albeit overcast. So we could have another great race weekend. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this save. I'm still, of course, very much enjoying putting out the 100% race distance Formula 1 stuff, so do drop the video a like if you're enjoying. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any more, and I'd love to have you live over on Twitch or on the Chesnoid Live YouTube channel. Links to all are below. Of course, if you want to grab some setups, then feel free to do so. To head over by heading over to Sim Racing Centre, there's a link in the description down below and the code Chesnoid to get you a 5% discount. Right, let's go to Texas. Not as many resource points acquired here because it was a sprint qualifying session and was also a sprint qualifying session where it rained for the majority of it. So I wasn't able to maximise my practice programme, so only 195 resource points there. Doesn't really help that much. We will have gotten enough there to upgrade something or protect something for next season. I do need to change my components though before heading to sprint qualifying because obviously we run some slightly worn ones in practice. So by slightly, I mean very worn ones in practice, and I would like ones that actually offer me a significant performance advantage or boost for quali. So sprint quali, which is now being patched, by the way. Sprint quali now has the correct tyre allocation for each qualifying session rather than the incorrect tyre allocation as prior to the patch, which is good news. I've updated my parts. I forgot to do my specialists, but hopefully we can still achieve the goals that it's assigned for me, and fingers crossed we can qualify well as well, although I'd be more concerned about qualifying well in actual qualifying than I am in sprint qualifying. Still faster than we started the last lap there, apparently. Keep getting that kick of oversteer at certain parts of the track, really annoying. It's unpredictable as well. Got it there as well. I don't know if you can quite see it by just watching, but certainly I can feel it. little kick, but to the line. P11. Well, that's a refreshing turn of events. We've been P17 in at least the last 2 qualifying sessions. This is obviously only sprint quali, but still, to show that level of pace on a medium tyre is actually quite promising. I'm pleased with that, and very close indeed to the top 10. Very close. Less than half a second off Oscar Piastri. McLaren P1. No real shocks in the bottom 5. Kevin just manages to avoid it. Okay, into the next session we go then. Good. I don't think we will.
That's P13.
Not much of an improvement here between the first run and the second run. But enough of an improvement, maybe? Oh, it's P11 again. What a tease. Well, P11 is significantly better than P12. And that is us then not using the soft set for SQ3. But I don't imagine we get to use that set any further along in the weekend. Very close, actually, to getting through. Kevin was only a couple of tenths behind me as well. Again, no real shocks in those that get knocked out. Both Mercedes, Red Bull, Aston Martin, McLarens and Ferrari are through as the top 5 teams, and then effectively it's us next, which is basically where we are in the performance index. That's probably the most on-point qualifying session we've had for a little while, really, with both drivers maximising the package rather than one of us underperforming in qualifying but doing better in racing, I suppose. Well, racing is what's next. Time for the sprint race. Right, we are, in theory, best of the rest here.
Okay,
because
incredible parking there. Nice
the
one.
10
That's
cars in
gonna give you the
front,
edge if you can get good
throughout
launch as the
5
race
different
starts.
teams, are all supposedly much quicker than us. But with a decent start and some good defending, who knows what we... Jesus Christ, Esteban Ocon! Lightning! Who knows what we couldn't achieve here. Might get the elbows out a little bit into turn 1 as well. We've done exactly that. A little bit of a rubbing his racing with Carlos Sainz, who's going to hold that P10. They're not quite as rapid through Sector 1 as I thought they would be. Esteban Ocon's alongside me, or at least he was. He's not anymore. Well, I don't know whether we stand any chance of moving forward from here, or whether I'm just going to be defending. That is a lock-up from Lewis Hamilton. And if I'd have been on a slightly different line, I might maybe have been able to take advantage of that. But he's caused a big gap already. He's been overtaken by, presumably, Sergio Perez as the second of the Red Bulls. Unless it was Perez that locked up, I'm not sure. I might go for a bit of a dive on Sainz here. No, I'm going to back out of it. Oh, Russell's now locked up. Everyone's at it. Cold tyres here with the overcast conditions, and people are not able to stop the car in the manner that they would like to. Almost caused 2 crashes in the first half a lap, both Mercedes, but so far so good. Everyone's car is intact and the positions, at least for me, remain the same. On effectively a third the race fuel that we'll carry for the main Grand Prix. So this is more like a final stint of a race on a medium set rather than what we'd actually expect from the wear at the beginning of the full main Grand Prix. So maybe we won't draw too many conclusions from the way that the tyres wear here. At least maybe we can understand how much we might get out of a medium stint at the end of the race. 57 lap Grand Prix here, I think. The sprint is 19, then that would imply 57 laps, wouldn't it? 57 or 58, one of the two, depending on where the 300-kilometre mark actually falls. Well, we're competitive enough for the minute. I'm not really threatened from behind, and I feel like I can keep Carlos Sainz in check here. And yeah, tyres are wearing okay. Alright, then there might be a point or two in this if we can make some moves forward at some point. We've got 17 laps remaining to get ourselves from P11 to P8. Yeah, they're significantly less competitive through the first sector than I thought they would be. And than they were last year. Either that or I've just got more grip this year than I did last year, and am better at this track than I was. I am surprised that we've been as competitive as we have been so far anyway, here at COTA, because it's not a track historically that I've been that strong at. But it's a welcome surprise. Got a bit of a run on Carlos Sainz here. He's gone to go defensive. We'll try to sweep round the outside the Ferrari if we can. The man whose seat we might be taking next season in this save. Never mind, he got great drive out of the left-hander and just quite simply took the position back again. Can I maybe try this Fernando Alonso-esque move? Yeah, we can, and we'll get it done too. Hallelujah, what a move that was. Slightly risky, but really pleased to get that done. Now I need to make sure we stick with Lance Stroll here, if we can. We're not going to have DRS down the main straight, but hopefully through the first sector we can keep tabs with those in front. 10% wear on the rear left, 9% everywhere else. Wear is still very manageable at the moment, and hopefully it won't be too long before we're trying to get ourselves up into P9. Really slow out the final turn. It's costing me time on those in front, and rather evidently now we're positioned to Carlos Sainz as well. Well, back down to P11 again. At the moment, I don't know really, as the sprint race is going to see us get any more further forward than 10th or 11th. It might be minimal highlights from the sprint race, which I guess makes things easier for Chris in editing, but means it's not quite going to be as long a video as potentially it could be. It's fine, I'm sure it'll still be. It's a sprint weekend, I'm sure it'll still be close to an hour. See if we can maybe get Carlos Sainz back again. We should be relatively competitive with him whilst we have DRS and he doesn't have DRS on the cars in front. I'd be perhaps curious if we don't attack Carlos Sainz just for a couple of laps to see if maybe we can hang on to the back of him and he might close us up on Stroll and Co in front. Because Sainz might just be faster than me around the majority of the lap, but not a full second faster than me, so that he can pull out a DRS range. So we might try to be a little bit sneaky here. It's about 2.1 seconds currently, the gap between Sainz and Stroll. We'll see how that develops throughout the course of the next couple of laps. Obviously, if I feel like I'm going to drop out of DRS range of Carlos Sainz, then I will just make sure that I overtake him.
Be aware, these tyres need to go the distance.
They do indeed. It should be good to do so. They'll be worn at the end, very worn, but they'll be good to go the distance. Not really much for Chris to do at the minute, is there, for this sprint race? So, we started, then we overtook Sainz, then Sainz overtook me, the end. Unless Esteban Ocon decides to get fruity in the final few laps, which he may well do. 30% wear. Tyre wear is so high around here. Here comes Ocon, actually. I'm sure it's going to be a 3-stop race. Definitely going to be a 3-stop race. Excuse me, Esteban. That's my 11th place, thank you very much. Go away. fighting hard. Not really much has happened to this point in the sprint race, really. We started, we went up a position, down a position, then went up a position and down a position, and up a position and down a position. And there's kind of it, really. Not much to show you from this sprint race, I don't think. But all told, we're quite competitive. Not madly competitive, but more competitive, I feel, than we were in the last two races. We had to have significant fortune to get the decent finishes in Singapore and Azerbaijan, whereas here, I think we might be challenging for points, or at least having a go at challenging for points, just on outright pace rather than through circumstance like it was in the last two races. We're not going to need Charles Leclerc to cause a safety car for us to maybe get a point or two in the next Grand Prix. When it arrives later on in the video. Carlos Sainz has been able to get away from me here, though I haven't quite been able to live with the pace. I don't know whether I've not been able to live with the pace. I've made more mistakes than perhaps I should do with the worn tyres, is probably more accurate. I've been more inconsistent with my pace and my lap times. If I can work on that for the full Grand Prix, probably pit earlier than now for a new set of tyres as well throughout the course of the race. I think it's probably going to be a medium, hard, soft, or medium, soft for the full Grand Prix. It's a race of attrition for the tyres. They really do get worked to the absolute limit around here. And sometimes past the limit, as you can quite clearly see there. That was a bit more Tokyo Drift than it was Grand Prix racing. But they're quite warm as well now. Yeah, into the hundreds in the rear. Bugger. Oh, Victor Silverstone, is it? Bollocks. Too busy reading chat, talking to Jamie, not paying attention to where Esteban Ocon was. Down to P12 with 2 laps to go. Hopefully we can get that back again with DRS down the big straight, but this is where my slightly worse tyre wear compared to everyone else is actually showing itself here. They've got better traction than me at this stage of the stint, meaning that they're able to pull away, or at least keep themselves with me and be competitive behind. A little lock up from Esteban Ocon, a little bit of wheel spin there, a little puff of smoke. With DRS and DRS, we might be able to take him here. I might save battery and just try and do it on the last lap rather than run the risk of taking him now and then have him just take me back next lap. So we'll try and have a strong end to the lap, a strong start to the next one, make as few mistakes as possible, and then take Esteban Ocon into turn 12 at the end of the straight on the final lap. A long straight, but we were nearly the full second behind Esteban Ocon. Holy moly, he's run out of battery though. He's gone defensive. He's flown into the braking zone and then cut me off at the apex. That was a bit rude, Esteban. I might try to you what I did to Carlos Sainz earlier into this left-hander. If I can just get a decent exit here, which we have gotten. I'll dive up the inside, and I'm going to get rude on the apex this time, Mr. Ocon. Thank you. Yes, P11. We will have P11. We qualified P11. We went up to 10th. We went down to 12th. We finish P11. Fernando Alonso wins the sprint though. Congratulations to him. Got the win in Spa as well, was it? Fernando Alonso? He might even have won the last one as well. I can't recall. But Fernando Alonso with another strong result for himself and Aston Martin. P11 for us then in the sprint race, which would be really frustrating if it were the main race because we'd be one position away from points. But in a sprint, we're 3 places away from points, so not too much of a to-do. What we do have to do is go to full qualifying now. And maybe not be P11 by the end of the session like we have been in the past 3.
Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now. that's P13, P13.
So we've done this slightly backwards to how we normally do it, i.e. I've come out significantly earlier than everybody else, rather than being the last man over the line, because we weren't sure when the rain was coming. So my lap now puts me P5, but only because track evolution is so high here. So now we basically have to wait for everybody else to finish their laps to find out whether we will actually make it through to Q2 or not. I'm fully expecting to be close to being knocked out, but I feel like that was actually a half decent lap that we just put in. So I'm going to try and just coast home, protect the tyres that I've got on, because we may well need them in the race or in a later qualifying session, and try my best not to get in anyone else's way throughout the course of their laps as they now all start their qualifying sessions or qualifying final runs. There's a Ferrari, a Red Bull and an Aston Martin still in the garage, so one imagines that they are pretty comfortable with their laps. You imagine that would be Lance Stroll actually in P3. He's pulled something out the bag there, hasn't he? Carlos Sainz maybe is the further forward Ferrari, as Leclerc is currently in 7th. And then maybe Max Verstappen, because Perez is 6th and you presume Max is in the top 2. It's definitely some clouds arriving, isn't there? It's getting more and more overcast. There may be one run in the dry at the beginning of Q2, and then we might be into wet weather running from the end of Q2 onwards. So you might actually be better served by running a brand new set at the beginning of Q2 rather than trying to save a set for the end of Q2, because by the time you get to the end of Q2 it might be wet. Now they are closing in on me here. I should just be able to get back to the pits before they catch me up. It's a Williams first. We will box this lap, and then we will just have to pray, watch the times come in, and hope that we are still fast enough to make it into Q2. I don't know yet. The tension isn't killing me because it's not a major session, but I still would very much like to be into Q2 for the first time in 3 or 4 races. So let's see. Well, the Williams across line, it still says P5 on my dashboard. Another one across line now says P6, as I think that was all P11. All right, we're tumbling, but are we tumbling enough? No, we are not. P11 is where we end up finishing. Something about P11 here, isn't it? But that means we're through to Q2 and have the opportunity to go again in the next session. Again, P11 for me, and K-Mag P13. Again, it's the top 5 teams in the top 5 spots, and we miss out in the top 10 by 2 milliseconds to Carlos Sainz. No shocks in the bottom 5, and we go again. I'd say maybe setup related if it weren't happening at every track. If it was only if it was track specific, I'd say yeah, maybe it's setup related, but it's not. Every track, every race in the rain is just an absolute skid fest. When the AI are just glued to the road. I get I should have less grip, but it feels like you're driving on ice, on even a slightly damp intermediate track. Let alone now, when quite clearly the track is significantly slower. I just can't drive in the rain on this game. Competitively, anyway.
Right, that's us pushed down into P15.
The They're still much stronger in the race as well, though. Just look at Monza, the Monza race we had. Just going to let Norris run his
2 minutes
race.
remaining in the session. We need a good lap here, or we're out of qualifying. Come on.
We're gonna have to drive quite hard just to make it to the line. Yeah. To be able to do another lap. Not that it's going to matter doing another lap, because quite clearly no one's going to improve because it's raining so much harder. I think it's a mixture of I'm terrible in the rain and the AI are really strong in the rain. Feels like you can't get the power down. Whereas they just go...
Forecasts suggest the rain's going to be lightening up over the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. You should start finding more grip as we clear the standing water.
Yeah, that's not going to help though, is it, really? Well, we did our first lap when it was slightly raining, and then we came out to do a second run on fresh tyres, and it's raining significantly more. Lando's not even completing his fast lap. I'm not going to complete my second fast lap because you can tell from the Delta how slow we are, and it will be a P15 start for me here. But as you can tell, I'm not the only one to get caught out by the weather. Alonso, Norris, Russell, all out in Q2. K-Mag will start P11, so there's still a Haas in P11, it's just not this Haas in P11. We will start P15, and thank the Lord it's a fully dry race, because in the rain on this game, I'm terrible, and the AI are super strong. It's a mixture of the both, which means I'm probably a second slower to where I ordinarily would be, competitiveness-wise, with the AI on this current difficulty, so... thankfully, fully dry Grand Prix on the way. Otherwise, it would be me in the mud as it was in Monza.
It's time to take
Let
a look
me
at
guess.
our starting grid for today's
Max
race.
Verstappen on pole?
Pierre Gasly lines up on pole position.
Pierre Gasly? Oh, look at that. A 32 flat compared to a 43.2. Pierre got a dry lap in right at the very, 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 very end of Q3.
Hamilton.
Wow. GG, sir. That's like, was it Alonso in Hungary years ago at McLaren when he got a dry lap in and everyone else was in the wet?
Wood.
I start P15. That is a dub for Pierre Gasly. Although he's probably going to tumble from there. But GG, mate. Wow, what a turn up for the books. That is a real surprise for pole position.
Mate, try your best. With a bit of luck, we might just get that points finish.
It reckons that it's a one-stop. I don't think so. I'm going to two-stop, thanks. Is everyone else medium? Oh, there are some on medium, some on softs. Nobody's on a hard. Okay. That makes it difficult for me to know what exactly to do. We might start on the medium like everyone else and swap. We'll run this strategy. Start on the medium like everyone else. Hang on. And then run the hard tyre in the middle. And then the soft tyre at the end still. And just try and figure out where's the best place to put this. 14 lap stint on the softs. The softs are going to be so dead by then. Okay, so 19, 23, 14. That's what we're going to do. And it reckons I need an extra 3 laps worth of fuel. I didn't actually check the fuel from the sprint race. That's annoying. I'll take that for golden. I'm not going to take a risk here, because we're going to be doing an extra pit stop to, we presume, most other drivers, or those that are starting on a soft here will definitely have to do 2 stops. I don't think they'll be soft harding. So Kevin, Lando on a soft, Valtteri and Daniel Ricciardo will presumably be doing 2 stops. And I imagine everyone else is doing 1, but multiple strategies at play here. We will medium, hard, soft, and pray for the best. Although safety cars could throw, of course, a massive curveball into the mix. With 3 cars in front of us, considerably out of position compared to their regular performance levels. What a start, by the way. We might actually find that we can maybe follow them through a little bit. I might try around the outside here. It's not really going to work. Norris on softs is going to be super quick. That's a great start for us. We've jumped Alonso and Russell right at the off. Lando's past Tsunoda as well. A little bit of tunnel vision here. Can't really get caught up in that. Just follow the leader through Sector 1 mainly, unless you're offline, like I am, in which case you're under threat. Alonso tried, Alonso failed, and Russell has now gotten him instead. Okay, well, 15th to 13th after the first sector, we'll take it. Hoping for points here today. Hi, Yuki. It's P12. Lando, take me with you, pal. Top 10 finish for me, please, today would be lovely. Although we are trying an alternative strategy, so it might not work. Lots of forward movement from Haas cars in the opening lap. Kev from P11 to P9, me from P15 to P12. Let's keep that going for the full Grand Prix, please. Pierre Gasly is no longer first. I was too busy looking at the minimap, so I was well offline there. Gasly's now second, holding everybody else up through Sector 1. As Max Verstappen pieces out in front. I think Max might be winning this race at this particular moment in time. Although Gasly is going to be particularly vulnerable to DRS now that it's enabled after lap 1. Let's use some battery and stick with those in front, please. Lando on soft tyres is going to want to get a wriggle on in this opening stage of the Grand Prix. So I expect him to get quite aggressive with Ocon here, although Ocon with DRS is able to hold Lando at bay, which is a surprise. Lando's going to get entirely frustrated behind the Alpine if that continues for more than a couple of laps. They're going to get frustrated behind Tsunoda the same way that Norris is getting frustrated behind Ocon at the moment. I will use battery here, but there's no point wasting a lot of it because I'm not going to make any moves. Lando thinking about it. Is he going to go for it? He's not. Well, if Lando's not going to make a move, I will try and take the opportunity and make a move of my own. Just like we did in Singapore when a couple of drivers were reluctant to make a move on Pierre Gasly, which seems to be the case again here actually in P2. We might take it into our own hands and get very aggressive with the overtakes ourselves. Alonso is past Tsunoda, so Fernando's not wasting time. Lando definitely is. Piastri's past Gasly in P2. He's made the move. Do I? It's a hell of a lunge from a long way back, but Lando is being lackadaisical here. He's not getting himself past Esteban Ocon, so I will do it for him. We're P11, because of course we are. I swear to God, if I finish P11 in this race, I'll be fuming. Kevin's on the softs as well. I forgot about that. That'll be why he made a good start. Those soft tyres will not last very long at all, though, especially with a heavy race fuel load. That might be why Lando's struggling to make some progress, because, quite frankly, his tyres are going to be close to 15, nearly 20% by this point already. Even after just 4 laps, they're going to be significantly worn. Use a bit more battery, maybe go for the same move on Esteban here. It's gone defensive. Try and switch to the outside and get a cut switch back if we can. So the outside for this one, it's going to force me right to the edge of the circuit. If I can hold it around the outside, I'll have the inside line for the next turn. Just need good traction here. And we've gotten it. We're past Esteban Ocon. That's a really nice move set up over the course of 3 corners. And we're into the top 10 and into the points. I enjoyed that one quite a lot, to be fair. That's one of the best overtakes we've made all season long so far in round 19. That was particularly nice. One of the most realistic overtakes we've made as well, actually. No DRS, annoyingly. Hopefully we can stick with K-Mag with some battery usage. He's not got DRS either, actually. I think he might do. Go away, Esteban. Leave me alone. He's trying to get it back again. He's going to have it as well, I think. Okay, fine. I'll stay in bloody 11th then. I hate being 11th. No DRS for Esteban, though. This should be pretty straightforward. We'll try not to use too much battery, but we'll use enough to ensure that the move gets done. He's trying to hang it out. Evidently I didn't use enough battery. I thought I had that covered, really. We closed on him massively, and then I think he switched his battery on as we got towards the second half of the straight. And the speed disparity just levelled itself out. Well defended, Esteban. Like to see you do that next lap.
Come on.
I'm gonna, Mark. I want P10, and I'm going aggressive for it. Give me that P10 back, please, Esteban. Thank you. I'm just going to get the move done now. No setting it up over 3 corners. Let's get it done in 1. 1 and done. Right, Kevin Magnussen's tyres are definitely going to be hurting now. So we might be able to close the gap on him, hopefully, through this twisty section. Now he's just got the edge on. Just got the edge on me at the moment. Going to pull away by about a tenth. I'm quite slow around that triple right-hander for some reason. I don't really know why. Never mind. We are back within DRS range of our teammate. Okay, apparently I'm not. Where's the detection point? Oh, a long way back. Okay. Detection point's before turn 19, and it was through turn 19 that I closed up on him. Fair enough. Try and stay with him then through sector 1. And then have a go at Kevin Magnussen, who's definitely out of DRS range of Lewis Hamilton now. The top 8 are drifting away. Gasly still holding on, though, in P2 with that DRS on Oscar Piastri. Fair play to him. And yeah, Kev's tyres are hurting on lap 8. We're wanting to do the softs at the very end of the race for this exact reason, because they wear so quickly here. If my tyres are 16% worn already, then his are going to be knackered. Going for the lunge on my teammate. So many different lines you can take through turn 1. Didn't quite get it done. I stopped the car in time, but Kevin was able to get the switch back on me. Fair play. Nicely done. We'll go for it again, either next lap or down the big straight.
Okay, mate. Engine's running very, very hot.
It's really not.
Let's try and keep it cooler.
Right, this will be candy from Baby then. He can use his battery as much as he likes. He's not defending this. We'll go aggressive on him, same way we did on Ocon. I should be able to get it done and then get back over to the racing line. Don't know whether he made that slightly easier for me because we're teammates, or whether that's just how bad the soft tyres wear here. So if we can extend our hard stint at the end of the race, I may well do that to run slightly less laps on the soft tyre. Depends how warm the hards are at that particular moment in time, but we should be able to pull away from Kevin now. DRS might keep him with me for a couple of laps, but over the course of the tight and twisties, hopefully, we'll be able to extend the gap. No point wasting battery here.
Okay, some information on Norris.
Oh.
Okay, they're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Well, that's handy. Lando might be able to get that fixed in his pit stop, to be fair. And he will be pitting relatively soon off those soft tyres. But Lando Norris is going to be struggling in the short term. He's just behind Esteban Ocon, I think. So Lando's still P12 and now holding up those behind him, although not for too long, so I think George Russell's just making his way past. Alonso and Russell still back there. I really anticipated Alonso, Russell and Norris to make big strides forward in this first stint, but they just haven't, for whatever reason. And Pierre Gasly currently still holding on to a podium position in P3 as well. Alpine are loving life. At the minute, a double points finish for Haas would be fantastic, although no idea how this is going to pan out by the end of the race with the 3-stop strategy for K-Mag and, sorry, 2-stop strategy for K-Mag and myself compared to what we presume is still a 1-stop for everyone else. On lap 11, we're set to pit lap 19, which is the same distance stint we did in the sprint, although pretty sure I'm going to stop 17 or 18. So Ocon is 1-stopping. We are two, as in we are two stopping TWO, not we are two TOO. Meaning we'll both be going to the hard tyre next. It's just that we'll be doing it earlier than he is. So we have to hope that our undercut on the hard tyre helps us gain time continually throughout the course of that stint, and hopefully switching to the softs will earn the pit stop lost time back again on that soft tyre. Still not seen the original soft runners pitting yet though, despite it being now lap 14. I think they might be in this lap. We might see Kevin and Lando in this lap for a change of soft tyres to either hard or medium, not sure which. Fernando is challenging Ocon, or was challenging Ocon at least, into turn 1, having gotten past Kevin. Kevin got an RB right behind him, I think. Lando is tumbling now with his issue. Ocon's still just out of DRS range of us, thankfully. There's 3 of them back there. George Russell is part of that trio as well. Staying ahead of that group until the pit stop could be race critical. It might not be, but if we can do it, we will do. Alonso is through. Oh, Ocon is back. Former Alpine teammates giving each other as much as they're getting. Cost each other time as much as you want, lads. Suits me down the ground. Alonso's through. Alright, game over then. As we suspected, soft runners have gone in this lap. Or last lap. Lap 14. Oh, I'm all over the place. Fernando Alonso is going to be past me very soon. The whole stay ahead of them until the pit stop thing isn't really going to last more than about a lap, I think. Oh boy, I'm in trouble. Although with battery I might be able to hold it. I'm having to drain it, but with battery, using it for most of the straight, I can hold position there. That's good to know. Although I might also have to use it on the straight into turn 1 as well, which might mean I'll have less for the big straight next lap. Basically, Alonso's going to get me at some point in the not too distant future, so don't be surprised when he does. This is game over. On the exit of the last corner, I keep losing the back end. Done it 2 laps in a row, and it's cost me a position now. In we come then for pit stop 1 of 2, even though some are only making the 1. Hard tyres, please. Undercut is a go.
Okay, there seems to have been a problem attaching the right front wheel. We need to try and put that behind us though and finish the race strong.
Good, well there goes the undercut anyway.
Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres.
It cost us 2 seconds. You put in all the hard work, all the time and effort to drive in the car, all the brain power into deducing the best possible strategy, to then have a pit stop issue and have it all thrown away. Never mind. We keep going. Lando's down in P19 now. His issue is causing him all sorts of problems.
They haven't pitted yet, so don't waste time fighting them. They're going to be coming in soon.
Right, 42 it wants me to box on. If we can, we'll extend to 43 or 4.
Okay, this isn't our true position.
Oh no, 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 no!
They should be coming in soon.
Engine blows! First the pit stop issue, then the engine's gone pop. Our first mechanical retirement of the season. We had such hope of a points finish here today, and unfortunately it's come to a very premature end.
True place here. They've pitted as well, so we've got to warm up our tyres and get them.
That is gutting. Was that one of the new parts we put in the car failing immediately? I certainly hope not. There wasn't anything that was that worn, really, in the car. Oh, gutted. Absolutely gutted. Who's going to end up winning the Grand Prix then? Oh, Max Verstappen does win the World Championship. We did the math earlier, or tried to do the math earlier, and we thought Max would do it today. And he has, indeed, done exactly that. Congratulations, Max. That's 4 straight World Championships for Max Verstappen now. Who else was on the podium? Did Kevin get points? That's one question I want answered. No, Kevin, actually, did he? Because that's including the sprint stuff. Let's have a look. Standings. No. Race. Well, no, he didn't, obviously, because it would say he got points there, wouldn't it? But how close was he was my question. We were 11th in the sprint. He was 13th. He was 13th in the full Grand Prix as well. Pierre Gasly, finished P12 in the end, unfortunately for him. He gave it a hell of a go, but couldn't quite do it. The 2-stoppers didn't have it compared to the 1-stoppers, although I feel like our 2-stop probably could have worked to get us some points today, but unfortunately not. Our first DNF of the season for mechanical reasons. Monza was we tried to save the parts. Why does my focus go down quite so much? That doesn't feel like it's fair. Finishing position versus expected -8. I didn't finish, so that feels unfair. Oh, mate, that's annoying. Oh, we were hoping to get. Oh, we have actually got the quality assurance. We have actually got the quality assurance perk there now, so we have been able to go up on that side of things. But oh man, how frustrating is that? Let's find out what actually failed. Then we should get a resource point boost for it, but that's no real consolation, really, is it? Oh, sorry. Yeah, 400 extra resource points, but what died? It was the MGUK. That wasn't a brand new one, I don't think. No, 313 laps it had done. So at least it wasn't the brand new MGUH we put in, or the brand new gearbox failing. I'll just have to take that on the chin then, unfortunately. Oh, Sag, chat. Really, really, really Sag. There could have been points on the board there for us. I don't know whether that's going to affect our standing with Ferrari, or whether we should still be fine to hopefully stand a chance of getting a seat at the Scuderia next season. Nothing's going to pass for the next one. We said I was going to get 400 resource points, but I've still only got 219. So that seems particularly unfair. Where have those resource points gone? Can I do anything here? I can do that. All right. I've got 19 left now. Ah, I bet it's raining in Mexico as well. That would kill me. That would absolutely kill me if it's also raining in Mexico. Oh, it's raining in Mexico! How much rain? Probably quite a bit. That rain is probably going to come about halfway through the race, isn't it? Oh, no! Okay. Well, it was a sprint weekend, but the video actually isn't going to be as long as we previously thought it would be. Oh, I'm so sad. Okay, well, our second DNF in 4 races means that we don't finish in the United States. Okay, Mexico next, though. I do enjoy Mexico. It's one of the few tracks where there are 2 genuine alternatives with strategy. There's the low downforce to maximise the straight, or the high downforce setup to maximise the middle sector and have better tyre wear. That tends to be the one I prefer, but we'll perhaps have to trial them both out throughout the course of practice and maybe some time trial as well to figure out which one is actually best for a race scenario. That race scenario will be in the next episode, though. That's all we have time. Well, not all we have time for. I had time for more. That's all we've got engine parts for today. Thank you very much for watching. I apologise that one ended prematurely. Drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully we'll last all 71 laps next time.